A lot of stereotypes that people talk about is how our natural hair is dirty. It doesn't grow. It's not beautiful. Me, I'm trying to figure out the texture of my hair.
I have been permed for majority of my life. Maybe not majority of my life, but majority of my adult life. I got my first perm when I was 14 or 12 or something like that.
Young.
I wasn't that young. I got it at like 14, and I've had it ever since. Well, not obviously now. But that was all I knew, and I was like, girl, I'm going to the doobie shop to get me a touch-up, because my roots, I can't comb my hair, I can't do my ponytails. Like, it was serious. But I actually just one day was just like, you know what? I was like, fuck it. I had literally gotten a perm, 4 days prior, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And then literally a month later, I was like, Belle, you got your clippers, right? You're gonna shave this bitch off.
And you just shaved
and I had Belle shave it off. April 4th, 2018, my last perm. June 10th, 2018, I baby chopped this hair off.
1 year.
Wow.
Oh my god, 1 year
and it was
anniversary.
good. Like, it's like really growing back. It's so natural.
Thank you.
And healthy.
I see now why people are afraid of going natural, or hesitant. Maybe afraid isn't a good word, but natural hair is a lot of work.
It is.
You know,
it's a lot of work. Yeah,
it's a lot. And I felt like I mastered my relaxed hair. I'm like, I can do natural. You know, I don't even know how to braid. I can, rock twist and all that. I can do that.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's so much more. It's research. It's taking time, money, because you find the right products. Because what works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you. Like, it's a lot, and I didn't expect it to be so much. Like, I always heard like, oh, like memes about like, oh, I've been, this length for the past 3 years and I'm natural. You know what I mean? But you really do feel like you're in this like stunted state, and then trying to find the products that work for you to make you feel like you're getting somewhere, and then the time you need to spend to, put that working on your hair. You get some mean muscles being natural, I'll tell you that. Your biceps and your triceps be on point.
All right, so Dee, I kind of just wanted to know a little bit about your natural hair journey, because you got locks and everything. Like, what made you want to start your natural hair journey and get locks and everything? And how long have you had your locks?
I had my locks for about 3 years, I believe. 3, maybe 4. It might be 4. 4 years. I started them because I went through a process of everything with my hair, and for me, perms just weren't good for me. Every time I would perm my hair, all of it would fall out, and it just wasn't. My hair was unhealthy. So went through a whole process. I cut it short, and I wore my hair short for a while. Like when we were in high school, I wore my hair short, and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to go natural now. After graduation, I was like, let me start growing my hair out. This was 2012. I started growing my hair out, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. My mom had locks, and I was like, okay, I loved her locks, and I was like, I think it's time. So once I let my hair grow into an afro, because nobody ever wants to start with
the little baby dreads.
Nobody ever wants to start with the little roaches. So I was like, okay, let me try and grow it out. So I grew it probably for about a year, I would say, and then I got tired of it, and I wanted to do a tamer. So I did a 6-week tamer.
So can you, Dee, what's a tamer?
Okay, so a 6-week tamer is it's where you straighten your hair. It straightens your hair for about 6 weeks, so you can wear you can wear straight. It looks like you have a perm.
Oh wow!
That natural hair. And so usually after about 6 weeks, after washing it and stuff like that, it'll wash out, and then your hair is supposed to go back to this natural state, like an afro. But for me, it didn't work that way. when I did it, it took all my hair out. I had patches all over my head, and my mother was like, "So you know what this means?" She was like, "We just have to cut it again." So I had to cut it all off again and start from the little roach stage. Oh. I had roaches, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So I had to start from the little stages. stages, and I ended up just loving it because as you go through the stages of growing your locks out, it looked like I had like a shortcut, and then they started sticking up with it when they got a little bit, like when they got to about an inch, they would stick up in the sky, and I'd be like, these are my little worms. It's like I went through a whole process. It's really a journey for you to grow locks. Like, you really have to be able to. You have to be ready for those stages because for me, I was so used to changing my hair up all the time. Like when I had perms, I would just change my hair every week, and then it didn't make it any better because my mom is a cosmetologist. So I would just go buy some hair and I'd be like, okay, do my hair now. And so when I wasn't natural, it was just like I would like switch it up all the time. But with locks, it's like you always had the same hairstyle. So you have to get so used to it. Like you have to figure out things to do, maybe color it or go and get a style or something like that. But I really do love my locks. I love them. Even though they get on my nerves sometimes, I do love them.
So how long have you had the locks now?
I think it's 4 years. I think it's about 4 years. It'll be 5 in December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And do you do your own locks?
I have my sister do them. Right now they're a little unruly right now, but that's because I'm waiting because I'm going to be going on vacation next week, so I'm going to get them done within like the next few days. So yeah, I'm going to Florida. Oh yeah.
Well, excuse me. Okay. And how often do you get them? Do you get your dreads done?
I would say about once a month. Depending. If like summertime, you're sweating a lot, so it gets frizzy. So if that, I'll do it maybe like every 2 weeks to about 3 weeks. But for the most part, it's been about a month. It's been a little over a month since I've gotten them done, and it's like a little.
It looks fine. Do you deal with like stereotypes about your hair, like negative comments, anything?
Yeah, a lot of people. Even you would think that a lot of black people wouldn't say like, oh, people with locks are dirty or people with locks have. But I've had this conversation with so many people where they say, oh, you don't wash your hair stinks, and then they'll smell my hair and they're like, oh, your hair doesn't stink. I'm like, what do you expect my hair to smell like? And it's hair. You can wash it. And so then they're like, oh, how do you wash your hair? I said, the same way you wash your hair every day. I don't understand, like, the question, what do you think I do? I cut them out every day? Is that how I'm supposed to wash them? So I'm like, they stereotype you because they think of, it's like a Rasta, the Jamaicans, so that means you smoke weed and you do this. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It is not that. People grow locks for different reasons. Like the Rastas, they grow locks and they say it's their strength and stuff like that. So it's like, for me, the locks was something new, something different. And it is basically like my strength because I become so attached to my locks. And it's just like, I don't think I would cut them.
Yes, Dee Dee. I love that so much. Thank you so much for giving us that insight about locks, though. We really appreciate that.
Embarrassed of my natural hair. Me too.
Yeah. So I used to go to the beauty salon, and my beautician, she would wash my hair and just put me right under the dryer. So when I would come out of the dryer, my hair would be in this big old fro, and I would just be holding it down until it was time for her to hot comb my hair. Then she would hot comb it, and then it was like she would kind of like burn my ears a little bit. Oh, yeah. And then when I got a certain age, I was like, Mom, like, can I please get a perm? And she's like, you know what, fine. And then when I got the perm, everything fell out. It was in 2014 when I really started noticing everybody wearing their natural hair, and I was like, maybe I could do this, like, because my hair, I like, my natural hair is cool. Maybe I can maintain it. But the thing about me was I was kind of naive with the whole natural hair process because I thought that my hair would come out like all the YouTubers I was watching, not realizing that I had different textures of hair. So in 2014, I stopped the perm, and I went like a couple months without it, and then I just went to the shop one day, and I was like, just cut it all off. She cut it all off to like the roots where it was like starting to become natural again. And then I went natural. So for a year, I did not put heat to it. I was just putting in like Bantu knots and braids and everything. And then when a year hit, I'm like, I gotta see the length. So I went to the doobie shop and I straightened it. And ever since then, I was kind of putting heat to my hair. So even though my hair was natural, it's just that I wasn't putting chemicals in it. but I was applying heat to it. So right now where I'm at in 2019 with my hair is, I haven't put heat to it in about 6 or 7 months, which is good. So right now it's like, like my hair, like it's okay, but it's like, I think I need to start all over again. You know what I'm trying to say?
Do the big chop again.
I'm not the big chop, but I think I'm gonna cut off the damaged ends.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a good feeling to go natural. You know, I never thought I could do it. I mean, people made fun of me when I first cut my hair off. You know, they used to make jokes, so it was hard. But I mean, I love it. I love it now.
When I was little, my mother basically started growing my hair out because I used to always cry for haircuts when I got haircuts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just growing up with dreads, I felt pretty comfortable growing up. I felt myself, you know, having long hair and having dreads at a young age. It teach you how to be independent. It teach you, I just say life lessons as, you know, period. Even when it comes down to applying to jobs, I felt like in certain cases, I felt I was overlooked, or I had to do more than the next person because I ain't had that clean cut haircut.
So why did you cut your dreads off? And how long ago did you cut them off?
I cut my hair probably like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And I cut my dreads because at the time, I was under a certain mindset that a new look would bring a new me. So yeah, I don't know. You could say I was very young and it was a immature choice in my opinion. But that was my thought process at the time. I thought cutting my dreads would bring a whole new character out, which ultimately it really did.
Right. So right now, like, what are you doing with your hair now? Are you thinking about growing your dreads back? What you thinking about doing now?
I'm letting my hair grow out.
Okay.
As of right now, I want to say I'm going for a particular hairstyle. I'm just letting it grow because I feel like hair is everything. Hair is life, you know. Hair is power to me. And I've learned that over the last few years. So I'm just letting it grow as long as possible.
So we'll just see what happens, you know, in the next couple months or so. Okay. So can I ask you, you know, being a black man and, you know, probably being around black women, obviously like your mom, your sister, how do you feel about black women wearing their natural hair versus them wearing weaves or braids and things like that?
I support natural hair.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. When it comes down to different hairstyles like braids or box braids or whatever the case may be, I'm fine with it. Even down to like maybe certain weaves and stuff. My main thing or advice to ladies or women would be keep the chemicals out your hair. Don't put too many chemicals, if any at all, in your hair. And embrace your natural hair.
Okay.
Like I don't mind wigs or weaves, but I would say, in my personal opinion, keep it to a minimum. I'd rather my wife or, you know, my future wife rock her natural hair most of the times.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with changing up your look, but for the most part, go natural. Embrace your beauty.
I've had a roller coaster of a journey. So I was permed. Well, I was natural for, I don't even remember when I was natural to begin with. So all I remember is permed hair from like as far back as I can remember.
Oh, okay.
So, but I used to be mad because I'm like, okay, my hair is straight right now. It's doing this thing. Why is it not getting longer?
So it was just there.
It was just there. So I was just mad. I'm like, okay. Then I realized it's because, so when I started going to the doobie shop, I started going to the one that Claudia went to.
I remember
Then
going
my hair started growing. I'm like, okay, so it was my mother. Love her to death. But she was just, my hair just wasn't doing the thing it was supposed to be doing. But anyway, so started getting doobies. My hair was growing. I'm like, okay, I like this or whatever. Personally though, my hair, when it's permed is thin, so I wasn't liking that. So I would add like little strips of hair in the back, like just little.
Oh, like little tracks?
Yeah,
Okay.
to make it look a little fuller. And I'm like, okay. Because I made it look natural.
Yes.
But yeah, so did that for a little while. Then stopped going to doobie shop, ran out of money. So my hair started falling out. It'll fall out in the back and then in the middle. I'm like, okay, it's time to cut my hair. So I cut my hair. And I had like a permed short haircut for a short time in high school.
Pixie cut.
Yes. So then I'll also get braids, weaves or whatever. all that. College started, and I had my weaves, and then one day I decided I just wanted to get locks, so I twisted my hair.
Yeah.
And for like a year and a half or so, I had locks. Then I twisted too much, so then it started thinning out in the roots. As it got longer, it got thinner in the roots, and I'm like, it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked out my locks. I didn't even cut it. I picked every single lock out, thinking I could like salvage something and like, work with what I had. Everything was damaged. It was just falling out. I'm like, okay, time to cut my hair off. Cut off everything. I had a buzz cut for now going on 2 years, I think. Or was it 3? I don't remember. I think it might be 3.
Yeah.
Because I think I cut it when I graduated, so 2016. Yep, 3 years, damn. So 3 years with a shortcut, and now I'm trying to grow it out so I can get some braids, because I miss getting braids. But for those 2 years or so, it was like a blonde look. I have a picture somewhere floating around. And that was actually my favorite hair. Out of all the hairstyles I've ever had, my short blonde look was my favorite. And yeah.
Here you are now, right?
Here I am with my scarf. But this is one of the things I do on a daily, either scarves, hats. Honestly, I don't like hair on me anymore, so I don't know how I'm going to do it.
I wanted to bring you guys here today because I just wanted to get your opinion and outlook about how you guys feel about Black women embracing their natural hair versus them wearing weave. Like, how do you guys really feel about it? Okay, so some people, when they think about natural hair, right? If you don't mind me giving an example of Nas, his hair, so this is just natural right here, right? So there are no chemicals, there's nothing like, it's probably oils or something like that, but it's not straight. So like, usually like with African American hair, our hair is already coily. So so you guys are okay with the coils in the hair? Is that what you mean? Because some people, when they think natural, they're like, yeah, I just like your hair like that, straight. And it could just be straight, but it could be heat damaged as well, or it could be permed. So natural hair just means nothing in it at all, like at all. Just their natural coils.
Yeah.
So what about that?
I love it, natural hair all around.
Mm-hmm.
I love natural hair, how it is all around. I love the afro. I
Okay.
love the afro. I'm big on that. But I'm also okay with a woman actually wearing weave or permanent hair or anything like that. I'm okay with that. I don't have nothing against it, but I do prefer natural hair. But it's just like, either way, you know what I mean, women are beautiful in all ways, so I believe that, you know.
That shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't, honestly.
What are you guys?
I like natural hair,
Yeah.
but I don't like wigs. I don't like weave. I mean, I'm fine with braids if that's a part of it, but I don't like weave or wig. It's because it pretty much insinuates and pushes European culture among Black people.
Okay. What do you guys feel about that?
He brought up the wig thing. I don't like wigs either, bro.
Okay.
I don't like wigs.
Like your natural hair versus the perm hair?
Very much so, only because it's easier. I do my hair when I want to. You could go like every 6 months and just get it trimmed, straightened. But then with having your hair perm, you gotta go every 2 weeks or every month just to get a doobie or a touch up or something like that.
Okay. That's nice. So, what do you think like are some challenges with being natural? Like, do you think that people stereotype you? Have you like had trouble in the dating world with that? Like, have people say, okay, I prefer you with the European style, or I just like your hair the way it is, just naturally growing out your scalp?
That's funny that you asked that question because when I started transitioning, I just started dating my boyfriend, so it was kind of like a shock to him. He didn't really know how to take it.
I was the same thing, girl. The same exact
so
thing.
That's probably another reason why I did do the big jump. Because he probably looked at me like I was crazy. So, I mean, it took him a little minute to adjust, but then he embraced it. Once I started to learn my hair, he was like, okay, I like it now.
Okay.
Another challenge probably would have been like trying to find out what product to use.
Right.
Because I was just following what everybody else was telling me to use. It was like, my hair don't look like your hair.
Right.
So I can't use the same type of products. So I basically like just bought a whole bunch of stuff at certain periods of time. Like, okay, I'm gonna use this week to wash my hair and see how it takes. So I just did like trial and error, and then I just really stuck to one main product after that.
Okay.
I do dibble and dabble around, but I really use the mostly one product line, which is Main Choice.
Okay, Main Choice.
Yeah,
I heard
that-
about that. It's amazing. I mean, her hair looks good, so I
It's
can
really amazing. I love it.
That's good. That's really, really good. So what is the one thing that you love most about your natural hair?
That's hard.
Do you like your curl pattern?
Yeah, I do like how my hair curls.
Mhm.
It can hold a curl.
Mhm.
I like that. If I just need to freshen it up, I
Right.
can just put some water and gel on it and go.
Okay.
And it's just okay.
Mhm.
But that's only it. I think that I can do a lot of different styles with my hair. So
Right.
it's not, because you know some people's hair is too soft to do something with. My hair is like, I could just do any kind of
Okay.
style that I imagine I want to do.
Yeah, and I know that you have a natural hair page, right?
Right.
And on the page, do you have like any pictures of like your natural hair and everything?
Yeah, I have a lot of pictures and videos of my natural hair.
Okay.
I have like quick tutorials
Oh,
on
wow.
how to freshen up a twist out
Wow.
or revive a twist out to look like a wash and go.
Really?
Yeah, it's just quick 1 minute clips. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to start small,
Uh-huh.
so I started with Instagram, and then hopefully if I get enough followers, then I'll start a YouTube. So I'm doing everything off my phone.
Right,
So,
I understand that.
yeah.
No, I think that's actually pretty helpful because the whole how to freshen up a twist out. Because when I was in the process of going natural, I actually did the big chop. So the person I was dating at the time, they were like, "You look like me a little bit. Like I don't understand what's going on." So I had to like educate him and everything like that. And I was also, I think it's really helpful that you're doing the short video clips, regardless if it's a minute to 30 minutes, because it's true. Because when I would wake up, I would do one twist out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing my hair no more.
That
I
was
just
me in the
brush it in
beginning.
a ponytail, and that's the only thing for me. Do you don't think it's a challenge? To
It
like
was.
just,
It like in the beginning, it really just my twist outs will only last a day. Like I
okay.
found myself doing my hair every single night,
Okay.
and I'm like, something gotta give. I
Uh-huh.
have to figure out an easier way to do my hair.
Okay.
And then I just started looking at different things, and I noticed that people put their hair in like a pineapple to go to bed. But
Okay.
at the time, my hair wasn't long enough
Mhm.
to go in just one big ponytail. So
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, maybe if I put a whole bunch of ponytails in my head
Mhm.
and go to sleep, and it worked.
Right.
So I just go to bed with 4 ponytails in my hair, and my
Oh.
twist outs last a lot longer
Okay.
than just me leaning on it.
So you actually teach me some type of different techniques because literally I would be like every single day, really.
Yeah, it was
I'm
too
using
much.
all this product every single night, taking all this time to do my hair.
And
So that's-
products are so expensive.
yes, they are. They are. So which one is more expensive, natural or perm for you?
I feel like perm because
Mhm.
you're still spending money every 2 weeks to get your hair done. Like for me, like when I had a perm, I didn't get my first perm until high school,
Okay.
and I don't even know why I did it.
So you were natural that entire
I
time.
was natural that entire time. I stayed with a press and curl.
Wow.
I always had my hair straightened, but I never wore it out. So
Mhm.
my mom would just take me to get my hair pressed out with a hot comb.
Okay.
And then the lady that was doing my hair was like, just get her a perm, just get her a perm. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I want a perm.
Mhm.
So I finally got a perm like my in the freshman year in high school. And I would get my hair done every 2 weeks. So that
Okay.
was like, what, $40 every time I get my hair done.
Mhm.
Versus me just spending $40 on products.
Mhm.
And that could last me about 2 to 3 months.
Right.
You know?
Right. Okay, that's interesting. For me, it was like the opposite. Like I was like, okay, I guess because I was using too much, I didn't know where I was going with my hair. So I'm still kind of like
Right.
exploring with my hair. See, for me, it's a lot easier to have protective styling for my hair, so I could just get up and go. What about you?
I like the protective style
Mhm.
too. I love a wig. That is my go-to.
Yeah.
You can just take it off and just go to bed
Right.
and put it back on in the morning.
Right.
And your hair just looks like whatever underneath. I mean, you take care of it, of course, but it's just easier.
Right.
I do like to get up and go with braids
Right.
or like the full locks like in my hair now.
Uh-huh.
It's easier, and you can just dress it up like with the jewelry and stuff and make it look nice. So
That's good. So what do you got to say to people who think that Black women should only embrace their natural hair and nothing else? No locks, no braids, no weaves.
I feel like they limit our creativity. Like I feel like Black women can wear any type of style, and it's funny when I took an Uber to get my hair done. I had a white guy, and he was like, "It's so amazing how you guys can wear any type of style
Right.
and get away with it, and it looks nice on you." But you know, he wanted to say like we can't do that. That's what I got from the conversation. Like we aren't able to do that.
Right.
So I feel like if anybody had felt that way, they just don't want to see us look good in anything.
Yeah, I started natural like about 3 years ago. I stopped getting relaxers, but I wasn't wearing my natural hair out yet at that point. So I just kept it up in like weaves, braids, stuff like that. 2 years ago, I decided to cut it because my daughter's hair is natural.
Okay.
So I decided, I was like, I can't tell you your black is beautiful and embrace yourself if I'm not showing you that.
Right.
So it was, you know, a part of a self-love journey.
Right.
And also to be a positive role model to my daughter and show her firsthand, like at home, like our hair is beautiful. This is how you deal with it. It definitely is not easy at all, but I would not go back to having a relaxer at all.
Okay. Okay.
I wouldn't.
So, did you face any like challenges, like any stereotypes about your natural hair when you went natural?
Yeah, I did. Actually, when I first cut it, I did face a few stereotypes, and it's kind of like silly because I don't see how anybody could correlate my hair being cut to my sexuality. So I would be out with my female friends, and you know, guys who were interested would assume that I was gay.
Wow.
And everything. So it was like, oh, you know, is that your girlfriend? Y'all together? And I'm like, you know, it threw me off because one, I was already just getting comfortable with my hair.
Right.
You know, in that natural state, cut like that. And then it's like, how will that relate? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as far as that, no, it wasn't really any stereotypes toward me, but the conversation amongst other people would be like, oh, I like your hair texture. It's not like, you know, the nappy kind. Like,
because the coils is different. Wow.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. And I'm just like, you know, that I didn't like that too because I feel like it's all beautiful in its way.
Right.
You know?
I agree. I definitely agree. In the black community, we kind of always have like a negative kind of response. So for example, Nas, his hair, okay? And you know my music is an example. All right. So let's be honest here. We live in Jersey. This is the East Coast part of the world.
Right.
Do you guys think, I know you guys are men, but do you guys think that it's socially acceptable in the black community how his hair is, especially in Jersey? Because a lot of people always have something negative to say when they see something that's different or something that's not of what we call norm or something like that. Because black people, sometimes they tend to have a tendency to do things like that.
If I may, I think times have changed. If we go back a few years, I mean, it was a lot more, I would say a lot more about impressing those around you, peer pressure.
Right.
If I go back to my high school years, it's more about peer pressure, who had the flyest Jordans, nicest clothes, nicest hair, things like that. And just like looking at my African American women.
Right.
And they, in my experience, high school, everybody had their hairs braided. Of course, like the more popular girls. Those who had the courage to actually just rock it natural, do the fro, I did see them, but not in a high percentage.
Right.
And you just see like a few in the corner, but those who just had that rock that confidence, those shine the most. You know, and just going back to your question about is it accepted now? I feel like it is more accepted now.
Right.
We in a different age right now. I mean, definitely in Jersey and New York, I feel like I don't want to get too political with and everything like that, but we're being more gentrified. There's a lot more different people around. There's a lot more freedom.
Yes.
Of freedom and clothing, definitely, and then everything just relates to each other. Clothing, hair, you know, and art too.
I feel strongly in the opposite direction of that statement.
Right.
As far as New York and New Jersey, and you guys there's more freedom here. I feel like there's more confinement in it. I feel like there's more of a push for you to do what everyone else does. Because I know if I walk outside with these shorts on right now that are above my knees and hug my thighs, everybody in this whole entire state is gonna label me as a gay man. And it's okay because I'm not, and I'm happily straight. But being put with titles, and I mean, it's happened for a long time. So But I feel like where there's more of a concentration of black people, it tends to be a lot more judgmental and critical at times.
I agree with you on that one.
So I think it just all depends. When it comes to hair, I feel like maybe it didn't go away, but it's shifted because now the people who really felt strongly about it are 50 years old. So now they can't go out in the street and have an opinion about it, but when their child comes in the house and she has curly hair now and she had braids yesterday, a slight comment as in, what happened to you?
I agree.
Exactly.
I totally agree. I agree with that. I'm sorry, let me just step in here real quick. And Lee, I think you want to say something. That's actually really true because my hair, I'll give my story a lot. So I used to, obviously we all started off natural, right? So when I was natural, I used to get my hair, I used to go to the beautician, used to get a wash, get put under the hair dryer. My hair would come out in a big old fro, and I used to be so embarrassed of it because my mother never kind of taught me how to embrace my own natural hair. She just thought I was just going to embrace it because that's just what it is. I didn't though. Then the beautician would then hot comb my hair. Okay, the hot comb burned. So then I said, well, can I get a perm? So she gave me a perm, right? So I got a perm. I was going through the perm phase for a few years, and then I went natural 4 years ago. When I went natural and I cut all of my hair off, my mother criticized me all the time every time I walked in that house. Okay, like I couldn't even just let it just grow out. Like it was like, what you gonna do to your hair? Like it looked crazy. You know what I mean? Like you gonna tame it or something? Like it's what is it? I would come in with braids one time, maybe have the braids, but it wouldn't be like I would go to the shop. Like it would be like I'll have her do braids in my hair, keep it in my hair for about 2 weeks. Then I'll switch it again. She'll be like, what are you doing? Like what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, but why did you just don't get a doobie or something? You know, why don't you don't get it straight? And it's like,
I feel like that's because of the way that she was raised. And, you know, and I was about to say that about your point too as well, that they come from a different time than us.
Definitely.
And the time that they came up, that's what needed to be. You know, you had to have your hair a certain way and be a certain way. And I mean, now that is, I feel like it is changing. I agree with you when you say it's changing, the times is changing. But I feel as if that, and go to your point about when you come in the house and then people say stuff to you because they grew up in a different time. Like your parents and the older people around you grew up in a different time. They don't really understand the social involvement of time right now. They don't understand what's going on. They're not really into social media, the Instagram, the Facebooks, the things like that. You know what I mean? They try to be involved, but they don't really know what's going on. And we coming in, they looking at us, and they feel as if like this shouldn't be. They feel that way about all types of things, not just our hair, but about the way we act and the way we move. You know?
Because we're introducing brand new styles to them, so it's foreign to them. It's alien.
And you're telling me, so I just want to shift this your way a little bit, Lean. You've never had any type of stereotype towards you and your dreads at all, or have you just like overlooked it?
I try not to let the world dictate who I am.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's a good thing about myself. It's probably a good trait that I have. That when people look at me a certain way, I don't, you know, when I ride around in my car and, you know, and I got dreads and people in the car with me, they're like, bro, you know, they see 2 black people with dreads in the car and da-da-da. And I feel like, I don't even think that way.
Right.
I don't know why I don't think that way. And I hear people say like they go through these type of problems and this and that. And honestly, I think maybe because I'm so blind to it, because I push it away, I don't look at it that way. I don't get those same type of problems. You know what I mean, I get problems come my way, but I deal with them in a manner with not thinking that I'm getting prejudged by who I am. And I think because I think like that, I always come out with the best results. You know what I mean, because you know when you think about people judging you, and then it's like subconsciously you just like you make yourself go crazy, and then you start to project that on the outside, those things on the outside, and that's like it's very. It can cause a lot of problems for yourself, mentally, physically, and you know, a lot of ways.
Not to cut you off, but you definitely right. I agree with pretty much everything you said right there. A lot of people are like they're moved by how other people feel and like how and they. It's all peer pressure. If I go back, because I used to have braids, I used to have cornrows and everything like that. The reason why I grew my hair out in the first place, high school, was because one of my classmates told me, listen, you're going to get more girls this way. The girls are going to like it that way. I was always the dude with the shortcut and everything like that. So I grew the hair. I started getting a little bit more attention, only because people never saw me like that before. So after that, I think when I hit the world of college and everything like that, I felt like in going on more interviews and everything like that, I started to notice how people just would treat you in a way just because you had braids and things like that. And this is like late 2000s and everything like that. So you definitely made a great point right there.
Yeah, because it happens, but like for me, it's just I don't get that. I don't get that vibe. I don't let nobody opinion dictate who I am. I can't let that happen to me because that would destroy my personality. It would change who I am as an individual. You know what I'm saying? And it make other people make me, and I don't want nobody to make me. I want to make myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I try to, I don't want to get into myself.
Oh, no.
But I try to. I know for a long time I didn't know, like before when I did used to think about what other people thought about me. I would go and I had a hard time. I was going through a lot, but then one time I had an opportunity to sit down for a little while and I actually started to look in the mirror. And I actually literally looked in the mirror and used to ask myself, who am I, all the time. And I started to form who I wanted to be within myself by, different ways, like telling myself.
Adriana, we know you're
alcoholic.
And I think, like it's nothing wrong. And I think people think, okay, especially men, like, oh, you wearing wigs, why don't you wear your natural hair? Not even understanding that wigs and braids are protective styling, especially for our types of hair.
Right.
So.
Exactly. I didn't get a perm until I was like 12. From birth to 12, my mother always did my hair. But like at 12, my mother was still putting barrettes and bubbles.
Wait.
I was mad. So, I think you started to go to middle school. You kind of like, this is corny. I started doing my own hair myself, and it was looking crazy because natural hair is hard to do.
It's hard to maintain.
And back then, not that we that old, but back then, like YouTube wasn't as, maybe it was as popular, but it wasn't as popular.
YouTube wasn't popping at all.
It wasn't as popular as it is now with all the natural hairstyles and all these products and stuff like that. So I didn't know what to do, and it was kind of just left in like my hands, where it was just like, oh, like just do your hair. So one day I was like, can I get a perm? And my stepmother was just like, okay, you can get a perm, because my stepmother has 2 boys, she never had a girl before. So it was kind of just like, okay, I don't know what to do with your hair. So I got a perm, and I always had thick hair, full hair, whatever. And I got a perm, and at first, like at 12, I wasn't really taking care of it. So I was wearing a ponytail with a little rubber band, headband, so you know that you're breaking your edges off. And then the ponytail, so it's like right here is full, but then right here all breaking off. So then my stepmother was like, never mind, you're not getting a perm no more. So I think when I was like 14, that's like freshman year of high school, I started going natural. But then I started wearing braids, and it wasn't like the nice box braids. It was like the little kid braids.
What little kid braids?
Little kid braids, but it was like regular braids with no weave. And mind you, my hair was and I was a freshman.
Oh my god!
I was a freshman in high school, and I had these braids. No. And then that I think back, but you see back in the day it was a little different, because I used to get the braids with the ponytail, the curly ponytail.
Oh, I used to do that too.
I had my little ponytail braid,
and then I said,
you do like the comb. Did you have the one with the comb, like in the back, and then the drawstring? Yup, I had that.
Unless you're talking about having flat twist with a ponytail, I have no idea.
That was like a curly afro type thing. Maybe it's a porn thing. Yeah. Even when I was little, like my cousin, she braided my hair. I had the 2 long ponytails. Yeah, I went through all. So then, like after that, like in high school, like I think that's when I started feeling pressure. I'm like, everybody else looks older, and I'm like still here with these kitty braids. So I told my stomach, I was like, when I was younger, I didn't have to take care of my hair. Now I'm older, like, please let me get a perm again. Right. She's like, fine. So I got a perm again, and I was taking care of my hair. I take care of my hair like pretty well. I was getting doobies, I was getting perms that often, because I got my perms like maybe every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So it was kind of cool. Then I went away to college, and I was about my beautician. So it was just kind of like, I had to do my hair myself again. So I was straightening it every day straightening it. So my hair was from like right here to like right here. So I was like, oh boy, what am I gonna do again? So then that's when I started getting into weaves. I was like, oh, I could just get a weave real quick. So I got a weave, and then I had to leave out. This is before closures was popping. I had to leave out. Then I started looking like Cynthia. Cause
It'll be because the natural
full
is
right here,
right,
but then the leave out will be all thin, and I'll be like, oh my god, look at Cynthia enough.
The hair will come out in the ball.
So that's how my hair was like. I was like, oh my god, like this is not okay. So then that's when I got introduced to closures.
Right.
And then that just changed my life. And then no, that's when I got closures and I was doing sew-ins. And then that was cool. But then I don't know what made me try a wig. I was like, I'm gonna get a wig made. And that changed my life ever since. And that was like, I haven't had a sew-in since I'm 26 now. Oh my god, I haven't had a sew-in since I was like 22. I've been
wow.
Because some ways I feel like for me personally, it takes my hair out. Like me just being able to just
take it off.
Yes, and cornrow because it's the
easy.
Like when you tighten it like that.
Yeah,
like
because your hair be tight.
Yeah, it be
so
super tight. So I think a wig from and then it's like what I'm gonna do with the front of my hair. Like what I'm gonna do with the front of my hair. So I need a wig. Like I need to braid it back. I'm not finna. I don't know what they do with the wigs now.
With the leave out
they got the closure now.
Yeah.
I don't got time. That's too much. You might just go buy a wig.
Exactly.
And you might just braid your hair because you can take it off, oil your hair,
and do your own thing.
You can wash your hair with
that's
braids.
What got
right.
Addictive.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is that like with me, I started getting addicted to the wigs and neglecting my natural hair.
Okay.
So then when I finally went back to my, because I flip flop, I'll wear my real hair, I'll wear wigs. Mm-hmm. So when I wear my real hair, I'll get my real hair done, but I'll get a perm still. So I'll get a perm, but my hair just be like, you got mad hair, you gotta cut off because like you not taking care of your real hair. It's just like weave. I got addicted to weaves. I'm still technically addicted to weaves. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So she'll be like, you gotta do something to your hair. So I'm like, okay, but then I'm getting perms. But whenever I get a perm, my edge is falling out. My hair is like mad thin, and I'm just like, okay, this is not okay. Like I need to find like an even balance. So I haven't had a perm in like almost a year now.
Oh, that's good.
Wow. Oh, that's not congrats.
Okay. We're gonna wait it out.
I'm so done.
We're gonna wait it
because I commend people that are natural because it's a lot of work. I feel like you know what it is also with wigs for women, I think it's convenient. Like so it's like if you got work, school or all of that, it's just like I can just throw this wig on or I got braids already, I can put braids in a bun and go. Versus if I got natural hair, I gotta twist it at night. I gotta like wash it like every once a week. I gotta deep condition all of that. So that's a lot of work. And I just feel like that's why people just go more relaxed because it's easy. I just wrap that junk up at night, put my scarf on.
What advice would you give to black women that are struggling to kind of wear their natural hair right now?
What I would say to black women who are trying to grow their hair out is I don't know how to do it. A lot of people don't know how to do it, but try to learn self-confidence because it's definitely one of the hardest. Self-love and self-confidence is one of the hardest things to gain and one of the hardest things to truly do because you critique yourself more than you critique others. You look in the mirror every day, you don't look at the same person every day. You wake up every day in the same body, but you don't wake up next to the same person every day, if that makes sense. Even if it's one day, you are always in your own head. So learning how to love yourself is one of the most important things for anyone to do in anything. So learning how to embrace your hair is just learning how to love yourself as a whole.
That was very, very well said, Nas. That was very well said. You guys really said some really good things. I'm happy that I asked you guys to sit here and have this table talk about natural hair. It's really interesting to hear your opinions and how you feel about black women in their natural hair because a lot of people don't feel that way, especially if there's black men out there who don't like natural hair, black women natural hair. So it's really good to hear these positive comments about how you guys feel about natural hair. All right, so what you were saying about baby hair? Wait, what is it? Baby hair and edges?
I mean, I mentioned it.
I like baby hair. Okay, so do you guys? So you had a question about it. You said.
Where did it come from?
Like, what you mean? Where did it come from?
What made women
want to put their edges down and swoop it and stuff?
It's the cover. It's the cover now.
Okay, so that's just it's the ice, like the cherry on top.
It's the cherry on top.
Okay.
I'm kind of digging it.
Personally. So y'all like edges. So y'all like when girls take the gel or the jam and just swoop do the swoops.
Yeah, I can't lie. Since I'm so used to it now, it's just like I can't go back.
Oh my god! So you just want to see a girl put her hand in a regular ponytail with no swoop.
With no swoop?
No swoop.
I'm saying, as long as her edges is swooped to,
pulled back.
As long as her edges is pulled back, I mean, she green. But
okay.
I
Okay.
What if edges was just like? What if edges was like? They just cut
Alright,
it
I'm
off?
done. I'm done.
You can't have nappy edges no more.
Oh my god, this is something that